Hi, this is Strology. I'm Shakira. Today we're going to talk about Scorpio season. The sun entered Scorpio on October 22nd of this year. That was this past Saturday. And we are cemented in fall. I'm wearing my new fall sweater. I know apparently this looks like Donald Trump, but it's not. It's just some white guy playing golf. Let's talk about this shift in energy from Libra, which was a cardinal air sign, to Scorpio, which is a fixed water sign. So when the sun entered Libra last month and we got the fall equinox and autumn began, we were dealing with socializing and meeting others and relating to other people. When the sun leaves that sign and enters Scorpio, he kind of takes this big plunge into these deep, swampy, dark waters that is Scorpio. It is the underworld, and it's the realm of darkness. When we enter Scorpio, that's when our plants start to die and the leaves are falling off the trees, and we're beginning this process of drawing within, and it's kind of this external death. We're entering the realm of darkness and the realm of all things hidden in Scorpio. So in Libra, we were socializing, relating, connecting. In Scorpio, we merge. We take those connections that we made and we intensify them. During this time, we perhaps might open up to some of those connections that we made and really start to build a relationship. In Scorpio, we begin to open up to one another. We become more vulnerable with one another. We enter those murky waters where, I don't know your feelings from my feelings. We're so connected. We're so deeply, profoundly connected. Scorpio, therefore, has to do with sex. It's about, merging two souls and the beautiful spiritual type of sexual relationship you can have with someone. Scorpio is about attachment, and it's about vulnerability and the deep psychological depths of being. It's about what makes people tick, and it's that inner well of energy that drives your soul from deep within. It's related to the base chakra, or the sacral chakra, which is located where the sexual organs are. And it's a base chakra because that's where our well of energy is stored. It's a very dense energy center, and it's the base of our spine. All of our energy rises up, our kundalini rises up through the chakras, through the crown chakra. Scorpio is also about what's hidden and taboo in society. So it covers sex, death, just kind of those dark, deep energies that we don't really speak about. Scorpio people will be the ones who talk about, sex very openly, or death very openly. All the subjects that make a lot of more type A people uncomfortable. It also rules the occult, so stuff like astrology and tarot, and especially like psychic mediums. Scorpio season is when the veil between the two worlds is thinnest, and therefore it is a prime time for connecting to past loved ones, or those who have passed, or any type of spirits that may be around you. This is like a beautiful time to try to connect. That this energy lends itself to that, especially. So the main thing about Scorpio and Scorpio people, is the power of transformation, especially transforming the mind and the emotional self. Really going through these really dark, deep, sometimes life-threatening experiences in order to take that energy, transform it, and then rise again as something brand new and even stronger and better because of it. Scorpio people will never really be the same from year to year. When they go through these dark periods, they go into the underworld and kind of getting close into their swamp, and they're dealing with some type of trauma or deep psychological issues, only to come out of it stronger and fresher and newer, ready to take on the next challenge. Scorpio people will always have this type of mysterious vibe to them. Um, they do not reveal themselves fully to almost anyone. Only a very few people are privileged enough to get close to a Scorpio and really know the true them and their secrets. These are people who are regularly going through trauma and death and issues relating to sex and issues relating to power and power struggles in their life constantly. It's therefore a very intense sign, and these people can be very intense. One way of recognizing a Scorpio is their intense hawk stare. When you talk to a Scorpio, they seem to be staring through your soul and reading you from within. People like Ethan Hawke and Matthew McConaughey, Leonardo DiCaprio, all Scorpios, all of this deep intensity behind them, and really intense hawk stares. P.S. I'm a Scorpio. So if you know a Scorpio, you know that they have this side to them that can get pretty dark, and they can close off for a while, but just know that they have to go through this process. They have to go through a withdrawal period. They also have extremely good willpower. So if they're going to abstain from something, they can abstain from that thing until they feel they don't need to anymore. They have tremendous willpower. Scorpio is ruled by Mars, and Mars in all of our charts is our inner warrior. It's our fighter, and it's where our energy reserves lie. So my favorite comparisons to make, all the planets rule certain signs, and most of the planets rule two signs. Mars rules both Aries and Scorpio. A really good comparison to make between Mars in Aries rulership as opposed to Mars and Scorpio is Mars in Aries is the daytime warrior. He's the warrior at the front lines of battle. Think of Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, with his sword drawn, prepared to fight that army that was coming towards him, and the ensuing war scene. That is Aries. It's that warrior that's quick on their feet and is completely instinctual, and just drives off of that energy. Mars in Scorpio is the nighttime warrior. So it's the ninja. It's lurking in the shadows. It's cunning and manipulative even, and very calculative. It can't be seen, and then out of nowhere it stings you and you're dead. So they're both Mars energies. They're both warriors and they're both fighters, but in Scorpio it's more behind the scenes and it sneaks up on you and it's mysterious and it's hidden. That can give you a sense of the energies. So Scorpio people, again, you can recognize them from their hawk glares or their intense stares. They also will have a very sensual vibe a lot of the times. A lot of people correlate Scorpio to sex, and it is because, Scorpio rules the sex organs and Mars has to do with sex and our sexual energy, but there's this very deep sensuality about Scorpio. Sex is kind of fuel for Scorpio in a lot of ways. They crave that close connection with another person. Sex is a way to achieve that closeness with another person and it's also, a physical act, which is great for a Scorpio. It's ruled by Mars, which has to do with your energy. So to expend energy in a way where you're in close connection with another person it's very good for Scorpio. So they're extremely sensitive. They most of the time won't show it. All of that energy is packed inside, and it very rarely gets released in outbursts, but every now and then Scorpio will pop. Think of explosives being packaged and put underwater. All of that energy is eventually going to build up and explode. Um, that's Scorpio energy. They feel very deeply and very profoundly. So they can be triggered to past betrayals. And Scorpio will tend to experience betrayal or trauma in one shape or form in early childhood, whether it is from birth or a traumatic birth, or something traumatic happening in the family early on in life. Any type of current situation can trigger a past betrayal because they feel so deeply. It's a water sign. These energies reverberate far deep into the past and can really strike a Scorpio in a way that a lot of signs don't understand or don't feel, especially air signs or fire signs, or even earth signs. They don't have this intense well of emotional energy that they run on, like water signs, and especially Scorpio does. So the Scorpio new moon happens on October 30th this year, and it's going to be a great time to set intentions around how you approach these topics of sex and death and the occult and even trauma. Scorpio, again, is the power to transform, to take that pain and to heal. Think about, your psychology. How's your mental health doing? How's your physical health doing? And how can you take whatever energy that's hurting you and use it to heal yourself or heal others. It's also a great time to explore your sex life, how you can connect more with that partner. It's also a fantastic time to, again, talk to those who have passed, try to connect with spirits. I personally connected with my grandfather via a psychic medium named Betsy, who's incredible. And around this time, it was right after Scorpio season ended, but it was an amazing experience. So if anyone is interested in that, please hit me up. Okay, so to wrap up, we're in Scorpio season. It's fall. It's getting cold. It's time to go within. It's time to connect to our spiritual self. It's time to practice some occult, get your tarot card readings, go to your psychic mediums, enjoy Halloween, All Hallows Eve, and prepare for this death. We get reborn in the spring. Bye.